Hey nerds, Gleemax here. Today we're looking at the top 5 Angel commanders. We're looking at the commander themselves as well as decks that they can lead. We're looking at legendary Angel creatures, so a lot of these cards are going to have white in the color identity. As always, this list is my opinion. Let me know why I'm wrong down in the comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. Let's begin. First up is an honorable mention for Avacyn. No, not the one that flips into Angry Avacyn. No, not the one that was printed in M15 and everyone forgot about. OG Avacyn. An 8/8 for 8 with flying, vigilance, and indestructible that makes all of your other permanents indestructible as well. She is the bombiest of bombs, an instant threat that is not only hard to deal with, but everything else on your board becomes hard to deal with as well. She's only an honorable mention due to her completely folding to a cyclonic rift that was overloaded, but she is a casual favorite and definitely deserves the mention. At number 5 we have a sister of Avacyn, Gisela, Blade of Goldnight, a 5 mana flying first strike angel for 4 red, white. She has, if a source would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. If a source would deal damage to you or permanent you control, prevent half of that damage. Round it up. Gisela is an aggro top end, coming down and having an immediate impact on the game. Just make sure you've got your lightning greaves ready. Early game, we're ramping as hard as Boros can with signets and lockets. Cards like Starnheim Aspirant are amazing for discounting Gisela and other important angels like Herald of War for additional discounts. Heartless Hidetsugu is a self-contained win condition, hitting every opponent for exactly lethal if their life total is even, and leaving them at 1 life if their life total is odd. The damage to yourself is even halved by Gisela. Gisela doubles the damage that we deal. Other effects like Furnace of Wrath, Dictate of the Twin Gods, stack multiplicatively with this effect. Say we lightning bolt our opponent. If we have Gisela, it deals 6 damage. If we have Furnace of Wrath out, it deals 12 damage. And if we get Dictate of the Twin Gods out as well, that lightning bolt hits for 24 damage. It's insane. Lastly, we have Fiery Emancipation, a relatively recent print that triples damage because why not? Lastly, I need to mention both Boros Reckoner and Brash Taunter. These creatures turn damage directed at them into damage aimed at our opponents. But because the damage caused by their effect comes from them, Gisela will double it. So when they block a 6/6, they can do 12 damage to our opponent's face. Note that if you try to damage them yourself, the damage is halved by Gisela because they're permanents you control. Damage multiplying Gisela is a super fun build and can be done as a creature focused deck or a burn focused deck. Gisela Blade of Goldnight is my number 5 Angel Commander. Next up at number 4, Lyra Dawnbringer, a 5/5 Angel with flying, first strike, and lifelink. She gives other Angel creatures you control +1/+1 and lifelink as well. Her mana cost is 3 white. You saw it coming. Gotta have that tribal commander in the list somewhere. Lyra is pretty straightforward for an Angel tribal commander. The problem with Angel tribal usually is its low end. Yes, your top ends, things like Avacyn Angel of Hope and Achroma Vision of Ixidor, strong game-winning cards, it's just the low end is lacking. But recent prints such as Youthful Valkyrie, Resplendent Angel, and Bishop of Wings, and the already mentioned Starnheim Aspirant make our low end actually strong and conducive to our normal game plans, and not just artifact ramp or removal. I would strongly suggest a life game sub-theme in Lyra. Her ability to give all angels lifelink means that you'll often be able to have the most life at the table. Aetherflux Reservoir turns your high life total into a nuke, while Cradle of Vitality synergizes exceptionally well when you attack with both angels with first strike and without. The strong life game sub-theme works well with other angels as well. Archangel Thune gives your entire team +1/+1 counters whenever you gain life, and Angelic Accord rewards you with additional angels that are 4/4 tokens when you end a turn as long as you gain at least 4 life. There's not much else to say because Angel Tribal is usually packing as many powerful angel cards in the deck as well, but Lyra Dawnbringer might be the best choice for this as she offers the additional life game sub-theme, making her my choice for the tribal commander and number 4 on the list. Number 3 is the most metal sounding angel, Tariel, Reckoner of Souls, a 4/7 for 4 white, black, red with flying and vigilance. Tap Tariel and choose a creature card at random from target opponent's graveyard and put that card onto the battlefield under your control. That's right, a Reanimator commander focused on resurrecting your opponent's creatures. Red, white, black, or Mardu is not good at targeted mill. This downside is circumvented with artifacts. Altar of the Brood is our perfect turn 1 play. Any permanent, even lands, triggers a mill of 1 card for each opponent. Mindcrank is less good. It does trigger when your opponents take damage from anything, including fetch lands, but every bit of mill helps. Altar of Dementia is your best mill source. If you're unable to snag anything large from your opponent's graveyards, you can always sacrifice whatever things you do get for additional mill to try and hit something better. Mardu might not get a lot of mill, but it does get destruction effects and wheels. Dark Deal, Wheel of Fortune, Reforge the Soul, and Wheel of Fate are great for dumping our opponent's hands into their graveyards, letting us to use a random creature that they were holding on to. Terminate, Bedevil, and Vindicate can remove any threat and let Tariel bring it back when it untaps. Speaking of untapping, we do run 1000-Year Elixir and Puppet Strings to activate Tariel multiple times in a turn. I really like Illusionist Bracers as well, letting us double the reanimation ability. Combined, you can bring back multiple creatures a turn from your opponents. Remember, you can choose different opponents each time you activate the effect. The most important part of Tariel is that the effect is random, so we can't rely on getting a Bomb Massacre Worm each time. Sometimes you will get a Steve. That being said, this effect is very unique, and there is always a joy in seeing what you get with Tariel. Tariel, Reckoner of Souls, is my number 3 Angel Commander. Smashing in at number 2 is Feather the Redeemed, a 3/4 flying angel for red, white, white. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's right, a commander that utilizes red and white's combat tricks. Feather is a highly aggressive commander that is very hard to remove. Sheltering Light is a great example of this. For 1 mana, you make Feather indestructible each turn. God's Willing is similar, but it gives you protection from any color of your choice turn after turn. White also gives you access to Moment of Heroism and Mortal's Ardor for lifelink, with Swift Justice and Defiant Strike for first strike turn after turn. Red gives you big power bonuses. Brute Strength is a flat +3/+3. Fist of the Anvil is just +4/+0, while Titan Strength gives +3/+1 in addition to scrying every turn. Both red and white give access to Double Strike with Assault Strobe, Temur Battle Rage, and Double Cleave. There is also Unleash Fury, which doubles the power and toughness of Feather, which stacks very well with Lifelink and Double Strike. Note there are many cantrips that draw you a card in addition to providing a small amount of power increase, such as Expedite or Shelter. These provide consistent and powerful card draw in Boros. The best is Fist of Flame, which not only draws a card, but rewards you for stacking multiple of cantrip effects each turn. Swinging out with Feather is our primary win condition, but we have access to Young Peasy to make an army of 1/1 elemental creature tokens, and Gutter Snipe to deal a lot of damage when you're casting 4 or even 5 cantrips in a single turn. Feather is the Boros Angel commander. Yes, one that focuses on combat, but it does so in such a unique and powerful way that it is no wonder why it is the top Boros commander on EDH Rec. Hashtag not sponsored. And at number 1, a creature that you probably forgot was an angel, Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. For green, white, blue, black, you get a 4/4 angel horror with flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink. Additionally, at the beginning of your end step, you proliferate, which means you choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. Atraxa is just a powerful commander, boasting an expansive array of potential builds, such as +1/+1 counters, Super Friends, Energy, Infect, or Sagas, and your build, which I would love to see as well. Tweet me a deck list, link in the description. So I am at a loss for exactly what to recommend for Atraxa. Cards like Evolution Sage or Doubling Season are automatic includes, as they also help to double or add additional counters to whatever you're doing. I personally built Atraxa as Infect at one point, as I liked the idea of using Blighted Agents and Glistener Elves to get a poison counter on each opponent, then slowly proliferating the counters until I won. But Super Friends, especially in Atraxa's colors, is very strong. Using things like Oath of Teferi to use multiple Planeswalker activations each turn, the new Kasmina slots into this deck very well, and you can just run your Vraskas, your Jaces, and most other Planeswalkers you may have. Atraxa Sagas looks like a super fun build as well, as proliferating a lore counter means you can activate multiple abilities of Sagas each turn. Kiora Best of Sea God and Furia's Retribution, as well as Elspeth Conquers Death, are all fantastic sources of card advantage, and the recent Hall of Heliod's Generosity and Resurgent Belief ensure you would be able to play your sagas turn after turn. Atraxa is my #1 pick for an Angel Commander based purely on the wide variety of builds and the power it brings to the table. The color combination ensures whatever play style you choose will have a plethora of options. No matter what Atraxa deck you face, it will be a unique and different build. That is why Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, is my #1 Angel Commander. Well, nerds, that's it for my top 5 commanders who are Angel creature type. Which one is your favorite? Did I miss an obvious include on the list? Let me know down in the comments. And did you know that only 4% of my viewers are currently subscribed to the channel? If you could subscribe, I would appreciate it. It lets YouTube know to share the video around and makes the algorithm happy. Thanks, nerds.